Is the 20-minute power talk, and I am Jessica Townsend, realtor to the stars.
I am the star.
And your name star is what?
My name is Lamika with The Real About Entrepreneurship.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And today, like true form and fashion, we had 20 minutes to drop some power points out there. And we want to talk about something that came up in our plain Jane, ever so detailed conversation about technology. So Lamika, let's be unplugged and talk about some digital tools out there. Let's have you kick it off because you were the one that got me using some things out there that I was hesitant to bring upon in my artillery.
Okay, well, I first want to start this off by saying if my phone rings, it's because I this whole do not disturb thing is driving me crazy. Um, but from a digital, the tools, a lot of the stuff that I use, it was because I couldn't find somebody to either do it. And so I had to figure out how to make it work. One of the things that we were talking about before we got on is Canva. That's a tool that I feel like I have been using since Canva came out. And that I got to Canva because at the time she technically wasn't a graphic designer, but she was my graphic designer. And she decided to go on to do something else. And when I said, okay, well, hey, where are my files? She was like,
Just kidding.
don't have them.
So you didn't
Every
get that. You didn't get those files, and that
I,
was a lot of content back
it was
then.
a lot of content. Everything had to be recreated. I had to recreate everything. So I used Canva. I had to teach myself Canva. And Canva at this time was nowhere near like it is right now.
Right.
It was not as easy to use. So that was, so the technology that I'm using for my business has been things that I typically have had to go figure out because either somebody else was using it or I figured out, oh, okay, that's beneficial for me. So yeah.
So what are some of your daily, I guess, tools out there? Like you find yourself using some tools on a regular day-to-day basis?
Oh yeah. So right now, Chat GPT be Chat GPT, okay?
Right. Bankhead.
So I sent you a message. I was like, "Oh, Jessica, this thing done got good." So, Chat GPT is my go-to on a daily basis, and Canva is a go-to on a daily basis. And let me see what's my other one over here. Oh, and I have another one. It's called Get Munched.
That's right.
Um,
And that talk about that one.
that is my go-to. So Get Munch allows you to take your videos, your long form content, and put it in there, and it will spit you out some YouTube shorts, reels, TikToks, whatever you need it. It'll spit it out in a shorter form content. It uses obviously AI to find that content. You go through it, you can make some edits if you want to. It's just amazing. It speeds up the process so much faster because I was having to go through or I was having to tell my editor where I wanted them to find the shorts. So now we just put it in Get Munch. We let Get Munch tell us what shorts we putting out there, and it give you a title and everything to work with.
That's what, and for me, because you talk about my content, because I love to talk, and people don't always necessarily want to hear it, or I can have more content by just splicing and dicing, and I don't have to reinvent the wheel. So that's a beautiful thing about that, because in technology, in this world of IG and Facebook and everything else out there, TikTok, you want to be relevant, and people will don't necessarily have time to keep going there and creating things when you already have a 20-minute video. Why not splice it, get munched with that, and then boom, there you go.
Because people kept telling me you have a lot of content. I'm like, okay, I have a lot of content, but like I don't know how to without having to like manually go through it. In my mind, I had to open myself up to, okay, how do I get it done? And that was one of the questions I started asking myself was, how do I get it done versus thinking it's too much content for me to go through. And the moment that I ask myself a different question, then the ways to be able to do it start appearing, and people started sharing the information with me. So yeah, that's like game change. And there are a lot of these other tools. There are so many other AI tools out there that can do similar things to you. Another one that I use, but it's a little hard for you, girl. It's called Descript.
I've
you know,
seen that.
yeah, I use it. I say and all that kind of stuff a lot.
Uh-huh.
So, so the script allows you to take out all of your and everything
Oh, your
without
filler words.
all your filler words without it being tedious to edit. So those are some of the ones that I use.
So it's good you said that because when I did Restream, and how did I find out about Restream? Because of you, because my behind was doing, oh, I'm the Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. I was going through every little thing, having to post here, copy and paste, post here, copy and paste. And you're like, why are you doing this? You're slowing down your productivity. We are streaming on 4 or 5 platforms right now, 4, I think, at the same darn time, right?
Same darn time.
And so when Restream came up, I was like, oh, this is really awesome because now it also expands your audience, your scope. You're casting the net much further than you would by going through each one, or you may miss something. And so that was the beautiful thing about that. But when I ended one of these Restreams one day, it was like, do you want to descript? And I was like, what are you talking about? And I pulled it up, but I didn't get far along with it because I find that some of these things are not very intuitive.
Yeah, it's not there yet. I actually just canceled my membership this morning. I've had it twice. I bought a year membership and I was like, it's not there yet. And then I went back some months later. I was like, maybe they've made some updates, and they had made some updates, but it still wasn't as intuitive as I needed it to be. So I actually just canceled my my membership this morning. So it's useful for someone that knows what they're doing, but for someone that needs to move quick and not a lot of learning curve, it's not there yet.
So let's go back to ChatGPT because I feel like that's the big thing we're talking about. There are other sources out there because when you were like, girl, why don't you just do it? I feel like I was cheating myself. I was like, you're intelligent. You're stupid for not doing it. Essentially, I know people have done their reviews at work. We talked about it in real estate. They said, why not have it write your descriptions? And I haven't done that yet. My next one, I will be doing that because I still like to have that creative flow. But when time is of the essence, it is also great because I rewrote I had ChatGPT write my bio on some other platforms, and it just sounds so much more polished. And of course, there's some things you could take out so it doesn't seem as AI. But I'm hearing you all about it. So what do you find that you love about it?
Well, actually, the video that you shared with me recently, that video right there was that first part that she talked about where go into the settings and tell it like what your tone is and how you like to write and what your overall topic. Since I've done that, I've seen a difference in what it comes back to me. It's a lot more. I can hear it more in my voice. But I got to ChatGPT because I wish I had it years ago, because with High Goddess and having to write product descriptions, I just go back to, oh my God, the hours that I spent with looking at Victoria's Secret's website to get ideas on what I was going to write for my product description.
Right.
So
play on words, by the way, I caught that.
Anywho, so I used it, but I was really when everybody was talking about AI earlier this year, it was really overwhelming for me. And there were like, and so many things, like I had another one, I can't even think of the name of it now, that I was using. And I was using AI already, but didn't realize that I was using it. And even those tools felt complicated to me. So whenever more tools came at me, I was just like, I can't figure it out. And so I was having a conversation. Shout out to my boy Jamal, who walked me through like, okay, here are some things of how you can use ChatGPT. And so I just stuck with it and, realized, okay, these are all the things I can do. Like before we got on, I had 10 topics. I put in 10 topics for an idea that I'm working on, 10 topics for an idea that I working on. And then I was able to write the blog posts for those articles. There is no way I would have been able to do that before. I literally got all those blog posts done in a matter of 20 minutes.
I feel like I could cut college down to 2 years versus 4 years with that.
I done put my sister on. She back in school. I said, girl, you better use this.
But that's the thing. So they had the ChatGPT detectors because I had a personal experience where somebody was writing me and I felt like that conversation was a little bit too crafted. I said, who writes like this? Who speaks like this? There's no way.
See,
So
they were just doing too much. You still have to go in and craft it to for it to be, for it to be you. You just can't. I do not just take it directly from ChatGPT. Like, I am editing it, but even the prompt that I'm putting in there, like, I'm very detailed with what it is that I want it to for it to give back to me, so that, and then I go in and I massage it. But if I have an idea and I can have it do that, yeah, I'm good.
got it. And I think I'm definitely seeing the evolution with it, because you personally, you are a fan of, not to put, nobody's paying us right now, at least not me, but you have a lot of YouTube followers, right? And your presence on YouTube has grown from the years, a long time ago, you kept putting it off, to now, and you see an expansion in the level of viewers. Do you think part of that is also from munching? That sounds stupid, but from being munched, that sounds worse. To the AI and the titles and whatnot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I'm more comfortable with it. So because I have a tool that I'm more comfortable with, I can now not so much be so worried about my titles, because that was something that was slowing me down from putting the videos out. Like, I had a lot of videos, but it was the fact that coming up with the titles and writing the descriptions, it is so much more to it. And now that I have this process down, it makes it so much easier. I'm able to crank out the content. And I definitely think, definitely the video, the short, but with you and I, which was produced by Get Munch, and the title, and that video has done very well with the number of views. So yeah.
And I love seeing how we get these stats. One of our viewers says, I've used AI to reword things that I felt wasn't right, but couldn't quite put my finger on why.
Yep.
So yeah, and that's the thing, is like, we can be intelligent and articulate, and I think some people may struggle with that. This helps them, because hopefully they can see that technology can be used for good, but not to become codependent upon it.
Right. Well, I think back to, just in having the business of the cost that I had to hire a writer. Not to say that it replaces a writer, but it allows me to flush my ideas out. So when I did partner up with that writer, I had a more succinct idea. It didn't cost me as much. Like, I hired a writer for my crowdfunding campaign. Had I had ChatGPT then, it would have cost me much less, because we didn't have as many edits. There are so many ways that, it's not to replace, but it's a matter of expanding your idea and allowing you to get your idea to market much faster than what you would have. Now, who knows, in 10, 20 years, we might be like, Lord have mercy, what we done did. But right now,
use it. Just like in I have a business background, so I could see how utilizing that for a business plan summary, things of that nature. Because some people have come to me back in the day and said, can you help me write this? I used to enjoy writing. Now I'm like,
it's expensive. Yeah. Oh my God, it's expensive. Like, I was in the process of writing a book, and I paid money down to write this book, and your girl ain't even wrote the book yet. But now I can go over here and finish writing my book.
You can get your Encyclopedia Britannica series written by now, about 20 minutes.
That part.
So we have a few more minutes. What we talk about, some digital tools. So Canva, ChatGPT, Munch. What else out there? Anything else that you think? And I think it depends on what people are doing. So if there are influencers out there, like even with IG, they now have finally opened up their IG creator, which if they would have done this a few weeks ago, maybe I would still been on IG. But I think that it was still limiting, because again, we have different platforms that are watching today. And that creator, there's so many tools that they're fighting with one another. They're all pretty much similar, but then somebody has his bell and whistle there. So with IG creator, they have a whole other set of quick videos where they're trying to have you watch and become more user friendly. I don't know where I'm going to stand with that, because I feel like my level of creativity as a realtor is still kind of limited. I'm doing the best I can to put content out there, but I also get tired of seeing videos just about getting viewership and not talking about anything.
Right. Well, that's what I'm telling you. Your personality is so dynamic that you are able to get clients by not necessarily talking about real estate. Obviously, you're sharing those tidbits, but it's your personality that will attract the people without you necessarily having to say, let me be your realtor, kind of.
Realtor,
Yeah.
do something for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
So
no dissonant. I like their viewership because there are different ages and demographics that will flock to certain things. So I have, the middle-aged persons, funny saying that now, but middle-aged to maybe to boomers. When you have people who are younger, the TikTokers, that's who your millennial. What group is that?
Child.
The ones younger than us.
I just showed my age. I don't know.
So what do you think, what has been your biggest boost in digital tools that's really helped you expand your reach?
To expand my reach would be one would be ChatGPT.
Okay.
Because of the fact that it allows me to get it out much faster. And then second would be Get Munch. And your girl got a affiliate link. I'll put that out there so y'all could help your girl out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, those would be the two. Not so much that it's helped me expand my reach, but it's helped me with my process so that I can expand my reach, because I was just like, I really took the summer. I wasn't producing any videos. I really took the summer to figure out like what my process was, so that when I came back in the fourth quarter, I could make I would, because my goal was to enjoy this. I wanted to enjoy it. And so this has allowed me to enjoy the process.
Got it. And I'll tell you, having my friend on here makes me think back to when I had my former life, professional life. We had software there and I was so hesitant. I didn't think I would be that person who was hesitant. Like I embrace it, but then I'm like, do I have to do this right away? And I think it's the fear of the unknown is what gets people thinking, I can't do this, is overwhelming. And then when you get into it, you're like, this is easy. Yes. And it gives you a polished product that people would think it took plenty of time and hours to do it, when it may take a couple hours, but not nearly as much time as it would.
Right. My newest, I guess my latest phrase is just push the button. Just push the button. I don't know what the button gonna do, but no buttons that I push is gonna be life threatening or anything like that. So just push the button. See what happens.
That makes sense. And I think just people, I like how so it's like, just do it, just push the button. Because then when they do it, that was easy.
Yeah.
We got a few minutes left before we have to get off of here today.
Wait, so I got to ask you, I've just been talking. I haven't asked you, like, how are you using AI, or what tools are you using to help you with your business?
Yeah, I'm a work in progress. I've been using it to come up with catchier titles I went through my whole YouTube video catalog and said, let me come back in and revise these, because I tried to these titles and I'm saying that's clearly not working. So that allowed me to go through, redo the titles, and then do the descriptions. And so now what I'll tend to do is I can have sometimes writer's block. I'll still write a little bit and go and revise, or I'll just say, write a brief description about X. And I know I'm going to take that to the next level of my next listing, because I was AI adverse on my prior listing, but I have some new listings coming up, and I'm claiming the new listings coming up too.
Yes.
And I'll be using those ChatGPTs to get the descriptions out there. But I know there's other stuff I can use too. Even with our forums, we talk about like just pictures and things of that nature to make them look more professional. Those are all the things that I plan on expanding my tool belt, so that I can be kept up and not meet the Flintstones, because I need to be with the Jetsons. The Jetsons are here. They've been here. Hanna-Barbera said this many years ago. We didn't want to listen to it, but it's the truth. But I kind of feel for the educators out there, because they got a lot of work to do to make sure that these kids are not getting over on them.
A lot. Well, but I think that's the matter of what we're doing now, is sharing the information, because sometimes so much of being a entrepreneur or a business owner can be isolating. It's important that we make sure we stay in groups and pockets of people that are sharing the information, so that we can stay on the cutting edge of what we need to do to continue to be open to learning and that kind of thing.
One lady says, my district just started an AI committee as we brand our district and campuses. It used to be taboo, now it's embraced.
Yes.
That's good principle to know that. I had to give her a shout out because I wondered, since I don't have any children that I know of,
Me either, that I know of.
how that would work. So, I mean, again, this is good information to know that's being embraced, because if you make it be taboo, they're going to go behind your back and try and make things work. And then we don't want to have the adverse impact of education where kids are afraid to do something that could have been ingenuity in their part.
I mean, it's kind of like your parents doing your art project. I mean, you weren't doing that art project yourself. You had the idea, but they helped you bring it to fruition in this mug. Okay.
Keyword fruition. If AI doesn't tell you what it is, I don't know what will.
Right, that part. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's so AI has been around. It's just now just like in our face with how we use it. And, obviously the scary parts, that's what people look at. So I know we had 20 minutes and Jessica gonna get me, so I'm done.
I'm a stickler for it, but I like the conversation. I'm glad we had viewers on today. They participated, gave some great commentary. This recording will be posted immediately, so please feel free to go in and drop comments, like, share subscribe to our channels. I'm just Jessica Townsend Realtor on YouTube, everywhere else.
And I am Lamika. No, my name is Lamika, but I am on YouTube at The Real About Entrepreneurship. Your girl has gotten back on Instagram, and I am on there as It's Just My 2 Cents. And you can check out Hype Goddess at Hype Goddess on Instagram and all channels at Hype Goddess.
And the last closing comment says, my students are Canva experts, so they're teaching me. So we love you too, Amelie. Thank you all for joining us today. Until the next time, holla.